Welcome to Canberra
Metalheads.
Season 1.
The Archives. Alright, let's kick it.
We're joined in the studio now with Lukey Lukifer from South Coast Metalheads.
Yeah, how's it going?
We've got JJ from Eschatonic Records and Inhuman Remnants.
G'day peeps, how is Canberra today?
Cold. And that's standard for any day, I think.
Yeah.
And we've also got Nathan from Inhuman Remnants and Eschatonic.
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
Keep forgetting you're here, Nathan, because you're right behind the thing.
I like to hide in the background. It's where I belong.
It's good, man. It's good to have you both on the show, and also we've got the special edition of being able to have Lukey Lukifer here. So it's cool to have him on the show as well.
It's good to finally be here.
Yeah, in the studio without being on the portable mic for once.
Yeah, that's it. It's good to see, what you plant flourish.
Yeah, exactly. It's good to pay homage to the club that started it all too. But yeah, we caught up with the guys from Black Mountain, and we're sort of talking a little bit about the whole recording and production process of the upcoming album release. So I figured it was a good time to have you in and speak a little bit more about Eschatonic Records, and we didn't get a chance to really expand on it before when we had you on the show. So figured it's a good opportunity. So how's production and stuff going? What's it like recording for Black Mountain?
Well, how long ago did we start recording? About a year and a half?
Around about, yeah.
Yeah, about a year and a half ago. I got my own home studio, and those boys were looking for somewhere to record. They just finished their live recording. You've probably all heard that.
Yep.
And they needed someone to record their vocals with and hit me up, and I really liked what they were producing, and I said that I could tear it apart and make it super clean and overproduced, because that's what I do. I overproduce things.
Nice and tight.
Everyone kind of like, I don't like that digital sound. I like the digital sound.
Yeah, it definitely. Well, I think it depends on the type of music, but
Yeah.
I think with Black Mountain, they could really show a lot of their potential if they had a nice, clean production.
Yeah, well, I've got it, and it's finished pretty much yesterday.
Yeah.
Got to do last cleanups.
Nice.
A year and a half later, I worked it out that we're all working bands and stuff, so it was going to take one session per band member per song, right? So eight tracks. If you take that as a week, because everyone works full time,
Yeah.
that was going to be 72 weeks.
Yep.
To get the album worth. So that's 72 weeks out of a potential 150 something weeks that it took to get it done. But that's with us recording as well. So
Yeah.
Inhuman Remnants has been going for a long time. Eschatonic Records, we've been. How long have we been going?
Eschatonic Records, I think we started around about 2012 as well.
Yeah, 2012.
2012, sorry. Yeah, it's 6 years now.
Yeah, 6 years.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, no, it's been 6 years. We put out a few records now for Queensland bands. Done an overseas compilation for a variety of brutal death metal and slamcore bands as well. We did that about 2 years ago, and it's more about not really being a label, but having a collection of people coming together to try to help each other out, try to boost the scene. We're not
Big time.
We're not really trying to in it for money. Where we say, we'll take everything but 25%. We don't really make any money. We're just here to help bands.
Yeah, basically we're trying to do artist development more than anything. I think that's missing nowadays. You see a lot of indie bands and stuff like that are all doing it themselves, and they've got a bit of a go. Then you see some bands that are struggling still at the garage stage, you know what I mean? And not that Black Mountain's that, because they've been touring and gigging for years. We were very lucky to get them to come on and trust me in the studio to bring their first album out. Those guys are amazing.
I think you're definitely the best pick for that album.
Yeah, well, I'm super happy with our product.
Yeah.
I'm super happy with how the dudes have performed.
Yeah.
Getting in there, we've gone through like a broken leg with Luke.
Luke being the drummer.
The drummer, and so that was mid-recording drums. We went through a whole bunch of stuff, and we still got out with a product. It's just a show of how determined those guys are to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have some famous people master that album. Jens Borgström, that should be pretty good.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a mastering space at my studio at the moment. We've got a lot of coming out with Inhuman Remnants. Looking at, don't tell anyone, but we're probably going to sign Morris King.
Yep.
And put them with our other kind of metalcore dudes and try and get that to prosper. Trying to pick up a couple more like brutal death metal bands so that we can have a bit more of a group together for Inhuman Remnants.
Yeah.
We're trying to pick up a couple more black metal acts so that we can have a couple to go with Black Mountain so that we can start planning bigger tours by ourselves, because at the moment it's only beneficial to the one band. You kind of need to throw a little bit more at that monetary wise. But artist development, showing people how to record themselves and setting them up with their own kind of prototyping stations and how to deal with different people and showing them, documents and documentation for business agreements and things like that. And what else, we do.
Yeah, we help them out with, all the general setups, so website setups, EPKs, Bandcamps, all the online distribution, all that kind of stuff that, sometimes can be a little bit daunting to get everything up and running for a band. And, people like to just focus on the music, and as a musician myself, it's nice to just be able to focus on your work and not have to worry about setting up all the other little fiddly stuff. So, being as a label, being able to step in and help out and make recommendations and to be able to set up and sort out all these things for them. Not like just doing it though, but like talking about them, telling them what it is, what it does, what purpose it serves, giving them different recommendations for different artists and things to help grow not only their sound but also their visual image as well is very important.
Their visual image.
Yeah.
Also tonal.
Yep.
We do workshops with guitar amps and that kind of thing.
Cool.
Well, I've, worked with different artists to set up their boards and set up their rigs and stuff. Both in the studio, out of the studio, set up pedal chains and all that kind of stuff. Studio tone. I also have a degree in marketing, so kind of pushing that for the PR packs and all that kind of thing to send off to different people. It's pretty much a one-stop shop. Nathan knows everyone in Australia, and
I need friends. Come be my friend.
Yeah. It sounds like you're providing like a really good service for artists as well, and also being an artist yourself gives it that extra level of personality that they might not experience with some of the other labels or with other labels that. It feels a little bit more homegrown, and sort of the way that you guys are locally based as well. It means it's a lot more convenient as well as such a good label. Yeah,
well, we only want to help people that we can help. You know what I mean? Like, you don't just want to make. I don't want to make $10 off some band in Indonesia and then not know anything about it.
Yeah.
And
you want a more personal experience.
I like to help and see what I've helped grow.
Yeah.
And that's what we're passionate about, you know what I mean? That's why we like that artist development, that career development stuff, man. That's why we're trying to stay local. We can help,
Yeah. There's nothing better than helping local bands as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially seeing them grow from starting out to playing big shows.
Yeah, well, as I was saying, man, when I was young, no one was doing this. No one was helping anyone out. All the doors were closed. You had to go around and try and kick those doors down, and that wasn't happening very easily. Nowadays we got massive support networks like South Coast Metalheads, we got Eschatonic Records, we got, a whole bunch of different groups of people
Throughout Australia.
that are all banding together. Metal Brews. There's a whole bunch of different networks of people that are actually for the community now.
Yeah. I've got to say, Australia's definitely got one of the best communities for helping out other supporting artists and stuff like that. Because, it's just, you don't see it anywhere else. It's just,
Yeah, I mean, Australia alone is a unique entity just because of how isolated we are.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the big things about why we are as unique of a scene as we are, because, you're in Europe, you can organise a 14-day tour through 7 different countries and just go nuts.
Yeah.
Whereas Australia,
and
here
the
you
towns
drive
aren't
half a
far
day.
apart or anything,
Yeah, legit.
Yeah, that's why I like what Luke's doing and what you guys are doing. I would love to see that grow, man, throughout Australia.
Oh, we'd love to
the
see
idea.
it. Yeah. You spoke earlier about gig promotion companies. It's good to have Luke here from South Coast Metalheads. Everyone sort of experienced the Heathen Fest series that we've had. What's it been like, sort of organising gigs and promotions, Luke?
Honestly, it's been pretty easy for me so far. Everything's just kind of fallen into place, so I haven't really had that real struggle that I hear from a lot of other promoters that are like, "Oh, I can't get the bands to do this," or I'm struggling to do this, or whatever. I'm lucky to have a good venue, a good setup of networks with bands and stuff, especially being so close to Canberra. A lot of people are happy, as you were saying earlier. A lot like the network within Australia is pretty good. A lot of other promoters are happy to work with you, especially in like adding on to tours and stuff. Honestly, it's been pretty good. I think also being a musician and being so heavily involved in the scene, it's something I enjoy. I have unfortunately talked to a few promoters that aren't particularly into music anymore. And it's one of them, like, their passions become a chore and they don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
And they sort of make it a bit hard on everyone. But that's not everyone. You'll get that in every industry.
It's good to see that you've still got you basically chose something that was always going to be a passion and then made it a way to turn it into other people's passion, which is, and also, without you guys, we wouldn't have been able to kick off Canberra Metalheads like we have. So it's good to see all the work you guys are doing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as I was saying, it's we're lucky enough to have a scene where people are willing to do stuff. It's not effort to sort of, get
Help
on
your mates.
yeah, that's exactly it.
It's not a chore at all, bro.
Yeah,
Everyone's just helping everyone out to get the same stuff going. Like I was having a conversation with a dude the other day. I won't mention his name, but he's like, it's pretty cool in Canberra at the moment. There's a lot of big bands coming around, and there's no real struggle anymore. The big bands are coming, and everyone's getting shows. And if you're of prestige, you will get on that show. If you're at that level, the venues are now holding that.
Yeah.
And
they're recognising it.
Recognizing who's doing the work and who's not.
That's it. And I think especially too with places like the Basement being like a good venue, it's they're happy to work with artists too.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of the people that either work at the Basement or organise gigs at the Basement are artists themselves. Yeah. So I mean, we hype the Basement a lot on the show, but I mean it's just. You can't go past the work that they're doing. So we're always gonna give credit where credit's due, and they've always shone through. But it's been good having a chat about some of the options available, and also how the scene's changing and becoming better over the years. We've only really had time to do just a short little taste for everybody today, but we're just happy to have Jay and Nathan in the studio again, and luckily Luke dropped in as well. So
always a pleasure, bro. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, we love being here.
So wrapping up, is there anything you teased earlier about the Morris King stuff as well? I mean, was there anything to do with Inhuman Remnants that you wanted to hype? You mentioned you were recording before. There?
We've been recording for a while. We're still recording. Tommy's been away with Hostel on
Yeah.
tour. So as soon as he gets back, we're kicking back straight into the studio, trying to finish out
Some new stuff. Consumatum.
Yes, I
but,
always pronounce Latin wrong.
Yeah,
You don't want to summon the wrong demon.
Well,
that's right.
These are cookies, not a demon.
so yeah, we should have that done. Morris King's been recording hard. We're going to be helping them with their new release through so later this year. It's going to be a big year, man. Black Mountain, Morris King, Inhuman Remnants.
It's all happening.
That there are 3 mains at the moment. Until the end of the year, it's going to be massive.
Always looking for more bands, though.
Yeah,
so.
if anyone hears of someone that they want to put forward and needs some help, we're here to help.
Yeah.
Or even doesn't even need it, but just wants it, hey? We're down.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's good. So we have a link on our social media for the Eschatonic Records, so social media platforms as well as their website. You guys got a website as well?
Yeah.
So we'll put that one up on our social media for everyone to follow, as well as some of the bands that you'll hear tonight. So thank you guys for coming into the studio. I know it was only a short one today, but it's always good to have you on the show no matter how long. And thanks, Luke, for dropping in as well. Is there sort of any hype gigs that you guys have got coming up that you wanted to plug on the show?
Yeah, man, we got 3rd of August. Hidden Intent's coming over from Adelaide. We're sort of lucky enough to get onto them, or they got onto us, which is pretty cool.
So you're making an impact.
Yeah. Well, it's cool. Bands from Adelaide getting onto you. So Hidden Intent, Hostel, Inebriator, and Clarity of Chaos at the Murray Waterfront.
Awesome. Okay.
That sounds awesome.
That sounds like a rad gig.
We've got Psychroptic and Archspire support.
With Almore as well. It was as the national supports, but yeah, Archspire from the US, man.
Also, hit me up. I've got cheap ticks if anyone needs them.
Yeah. So
mates rates. Hit me up.
Yeah, so hit up either Jay or Inhuman Remnants for the cheap ticks, and also keep an eye on their social media for upcoming gigs, just like the one just mentioned. So thanks very much for being on the show. We'll kick it off now. You'll be listening to a pre-recorded interview that we did with Black Mountain at the basement here on Canberra Metalheads. Alright, you got Marky Malphas.
Benny Benphegor.
We're here with the boys from Black Mountain, so we got Kimmy and
G'day.
Dan.
Hey, how's it going?
You boys are on the bill tonight. We're at the basement doing a portable podcast. Just 15 minutes with the boys here. Get it done nice and early.
Nice and early. So we can have lots of fun later.
Yeah. Alright, so we'll start by introducing. So you got
G'day, I'm Kim. I play half the lead guitar and lead vocals in Black Mountain.
And I'm Daniel, I play bass.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, wicked.
Cool. Yeah, I've seen Kim through plenty of bands over the years, or at least on the stage a fair bit.
Yeah, a few.
But I think that Black Mountain seems to be one of the more fitting bands for your style, so...
I think so too, actually. I'm very happy with the band.
Yeah.
I feel like we're sort of going in the direction that we would all like to be going in.
Yeah, so you've all got the same sort of, motion. You all want to, sort of go in the same places, which is good.
I think so, yeah. We seem to fit very well as a band, I think.
Yeah, cool.
We've got a pretty varied sort of range of inspirations and interests musically in the band, but it all seems to come together in Black Mountain in a direction that we all like, so...
It's really good when you have a range of guys who like different music or different artists, and then you can go into a band and have ideas from everyone and then make your own unique sound from it as well.
Definitely.
Cool. Yeah, so I hear through the grapevine that you boys are working on a new recording at the moment. What sort of what's that been like?
Man, are we ever? No, we're actually we're recording with Jay Lodding, who is a fantastic dude to work with.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
Awesome.
He's been a pleasure to work with. We are most of the way through the album now. We're just putting a couple of finishing touches on, and we'll be done pretty soon. I think probably ready to release hopefully, I'd give it maybe 2 months.
Yeah, yeah. So by the end of the year. So.
Mate, yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah, more than likely.
I know a lot
that'd
of
be
people
rad.
are keen. A lot of people are definitely keen with this album.
We've had Jay on the show before, so we're sort of fairly familiar with some of his stuff, with all of his stuff, and man, it's cool to see that Canberra bands are working together to produce music and get it done, and yeah, it's just cool to see that the community sort of helping each other out a bit.
Well, see, yeah, Jay's obviously, throughout the entire time we've worked with him, as well as the time we've known him, he's obviously been a person who's very supportive of the Canberra scene, and that's something we're very much into, which is why I think, personally, what you guys are doing with Canberra Metalheads is so good.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man.
Yeah, because I really enjoyed working with Lukey down with the South Coast guys.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really cool to see that sort of groundswell here
Yep.
as well.
Yeah, we're happy to do it. It's been great.
Yeah. There's a fair bit of work involved just in the behind the scenes,
but it's still fun no
at the end
matter
of the
the less.
day. It's one of those things you're happy to do that work to for the scene.
At the end of the day, it's all for heavy metal, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's it,
exactly.
man.
Well, it's like some of it is just something fun that we enjoy doing as well. Most of the time I'm just sitting around listening to music anyway. It's cool that I can share that with other people.
It feels like the interview's being reversed now.
Well, all I was going to say, I was leading from that into saying, yeah, so we've recorded in a Canberra studio. We plan on playing largely with Canberra bands. We are, however, once we've got it all recorded, we're probably 90% of the way there with recordings, maybe a little bit more.
Cool.
Mixing is done for a lot of the album. We're getting it mastered. We're looking at getting it mastered, I should say, with a surprise studio somewhere on the other end of the world. But yeah. So
Good little
we'll be
teaser
talking about
there.
that a bit later on in the sort of in the coming months, I think, rather than now.
pretty exciting though.
Yeah, it's all,
Yeah.
we're very excited about it.
No, that's
so.
cool. That's awesome. And also, if you could choose a band to represent Canberra metal, especially black metal, of course, have one that's named after a famous Canberra landmark.
Let's go, man.
Yeah, so it'd be cool to see you guys rocking it all around the world. You know?
Well, yeah, it's kind of cool to do that too. Represent your local city.
Yeah. Where it all
where you
came
come
from.
from.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
definitely a
that's right.
fitting name.
Yeah.
Is as well, and to actually be an actually legit place as well. Makes it even awesome.
It's one of those things when you guys first started up and everything. I'm surprised that someone hasn't already done that. Someone hasn't thought of it, especially in Canberra. It's
We've spoken about that a lot of times, actually.
yeah.
There are a few bands, if you go on Metal Archives or whatever, there are a few bands with titles that are basically or are close to Black Mountain.
Yeah.
But I think that, I don't know, I think that what we've done has got a real Canberra flavour to it.
Yeah,
And,
definitely.
Every time someone sees the logo, they're like, oh, is that Telstra Tower? That's really awesome. I think that for all of us in the band, the moment we saw that logo, we were like, yes, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Because, it's what we're about. It's black metal, it's Canberra.
Yep. Yeah. When you think about the name, I was also thinking about the artwork and stuff. Where have you guys? Who did the artwork for the design? Do you remember? Yeah.
Unfortunately, no.
No, you don't remember.
I would have to look it up.
Yeah.
But I can say this: the dude, whoever did it, we might actually put a link to him on our Facebook.
Yeah.
He was actually super pleasant to work with. We sent away our design. He sent one back. We said tweak this one thing, and he did it.
Yeah.
And it was perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
wicked.
I think it'd be one of those things where, because I know for a fact, when you get designs done and things like that, you're it's hard to have an image of what's in your head but put it on paper. And sometimes you just finally get that last draft and you're like, no, that's what I'm thinking.
Exactly right, man.
Yeah, man. But yeah, no, we'll keep an eye out. We'll just put up some more info later on the page or whatever. But yeah, we'll keep it going with just a little bit more about maybe some of the previous projects. I mean, we're here to talk about Black Mountain, but I've seen you in and out of bands over the past few years and stuff. What's it just been like in general in the Canberra music scene?
Mate, to be honest, the Canberra music scene has always been one of great enjoyment, but also there are so many other bands that, obviously, being in Canberra, being a small place, you know all the guys, and everyone's real cool, and it's really cool to see all your good mates' creative outlet being displayed on the stage, and it's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. I've seen I've seen multiple bands over the years, and it's cool to see them sort of, even if people do leave bands, you're sort of hanging out to see what they're going to be in next.
Exactly.
And you kind of, sometimes you can follow members from different bands, and you're like, oh yeah, it'd be cool to see him in for example, when I seen you in punk bands. Like, I want to see that dude in a, see how you go in a black metal band. Because I've known you to, if you go right back, you started in black metal, didn't you?
Yeah, started in black metal. Had a stint in a punk band, and then, sort of, punk was never really, not saying it wasn't my passion. It was really cool. It was a lot of fun, great people to hang out with. But for me, my passion's always been black metal. Yeah. And, I feel like in Black Mountain, I've sort of gotten everything I've wanted out of a band. Yeah. And I feel like we're really, I think we're pushing it in the right direction at the moment.
Yeah, right. No, it's it shows. Like I said, it suits you. Your band suits you, man. It's cool to see you out.
Cheers, man.
I've played personally in a couple of the different black metal bands from around Canberra. I played in Claridash, and before that I played in AVN. Yeah. And with those two and Black Mountain, it really sort of covers a pretty broad spectrum of what black metal sounds like. And while I was playing guitar in those two bands and bass in this one, definitely I think what we're doing in Black Mountain is something I really have enjoyed playing in.
Yeah, man. No, it's cool.
I also played in Devil's Work, which was definitely not black metal, but I just like, getting the whole spectrum of what metal can be.
I actually forgot you're in AVN. A lot of people have. Yeah, so I think some of the early days of me being at the basement was AVN playing. Yeah. And I remember seeing that, and obviously some older bands that aren't still kicking now. But it's always, at least like we were saying before, when you get people leave bands, you're still hopefully going to catch them again in another band, and that's why when we have members on the show, it's kind of hard not to talk about previous bands, because it's always good to get a little bit of background knowledge on previous sort of projects and stuff.
I think part of it as well is that because of how sort of insular the Canberra scene has a tendency to be, everyone sort of knows everyone to an extent, and everyone knows, hey, that's the guy who was in that band. And he was in that band before that.
And if you don't know that dude, your best mate knows that dude.
Yeah. And chances are he was in Reign of Terror.
Yeah. That's
everyone is in Reign of Terror.
Yeah, man. No, we love some of the long-standing bands, and for example, just through this show, we've stumbled on some members from bands that have been kicking for long. So, for example, we did an interview last week with the boys from Witch Skull, and we're talking to Joel about Armored Angel and stuff like that, and we deal a lot with Lucy down in Melbourne, and just
Lucy.
Yeah.
That guy is a champion.
Yeah.
He's a good
bloke. I remember him from back when Raven was around walking in there, and there's Angel Witch playing on the speakers. It was the first time I've ever been in a space like that, because I was a teenager.
Yeah.
It was Impact Comics. You go down to Impact Comics and you see the dude from Armored Angel, you're like, oh, hey, man.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right. And we get patches for him and stuff. He sent us a Psychros album. So he's really keeping up with what we're doing here, and he's supporting what we're doing, and sharing our stuff and liking our page and stuff.
He actually made our patches.
Yeah, right. So
which are pretty cheap.
Our patches.
I definitely will be.
They're probably our best-selling item of merch. Where we've almost run out of them actually, which is awesome. As someone who spent my whole life seeing patch jackets and being like, oh yeah, that's it. And then Bill, basically, I have a patch jacket with 45 odd patches on it, which was a huge labour of love for me.
Yeah.
And now being in a position where people are buying patches of a band I'm playing in,
that's
really
cool.
Special.
Yeah, man. No,
and he did a really great job with our patches. So any bands listening who want to get patches, I would highly recommend getting them through him.
Heliquin.
Yeah, Heliquin patches.
Yeah.
We'll post a link in the bottom for you
And
guys.
anyone who isn't in a band but likes patches, I would highly recommend Black Mountain patches.
Yeah, no, it's cool, so man. So what? We'll closing up. We'll just spend a couple minutes talking about what do you guys got planned for tonight? Are you sort of trying out anything new, or what sort of?
As a matter of fact, I think we're pretty much on the old same flavour tonight.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of new stuff in the works, but nothing like heaps of stuff we actually probably could play, but maybe not. We just kind of want to keep it professional tonight and just play the stuff that we know back to front and do a really good job of it.
Yeah, cool, man. No, that's good, and especially with the new album coming out and stuff like that, people are going to want to hear the album and then see you play it live. So
well, that's it. Like every song we play tonight will be almost every song except for maybe a cover. Will
covers
be on the album that's coming out.
Yeah, cool, man. No, we're looking forward to seeing you guys play it. And do you have anything out currently? Any music and stuff we could play on the show, maybe?
Well, so we've got EPs. There's live EPs we recorded a little while back, which are for sale tonight. But also they're on our Bandcamp.
Yep.
So they're available for anyone to listen to. If you want to go there, if you go there and you decide you like it, you can pay what you want. I think you can pay $1 or less. To get the whole EP. So that's
we'll drop that in the description below.
Fuck, give us a couple of cents.
Yeah.
We're struggling musicians.
Starving artists, all of us.
No, it's good. It's been good to catch up and have a quick chat, while we can. We'd love to have you in the actual studio and do like a bit more of a feature-length thing.
Anytime.
We'll probably look at coming in for that when we're a bit closer to the release of the...
I think,
maybe spin you a couple of tracks a week or two early or something.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. We'd definitely be all over that, man. We'd love to do that. And, mix it up. We can take 3 people in the studio at a time. I mean, we can't fit the whole 5 in, but 4. Sorry, we can't fit all 4 in, but we.
I'm sure Luke would be happy to stand outside anyway.
He can do the phone in. All right. No. Cheers, man. Good to catch up with you, and looking forward to seeing you set tonight.
Yeah, sensational. Definitely. Thanks a heaps for having us, guys. It's been a real pleasure talking to you. And on.
Cool, man. Oh, last thing. Was there any upcoming gigs you wanted to promote before we close it up?
Yeah. Well, we're playing at the Basement, as always, at the Tamerlan Empire's album launch, which is 25th of August. So it's going to be really good. There's us and Invictus and...
Got some other bands on the bill as well.
Christ Dismembered as well,
cool.
Who are coming over from Adelaide, I believe. So that's
solid
really
trip.
big of them. Cool trip. All the bands, awesome guys. So it'll be a great show.
Cool.
If you haven't seen Invictus before, there's something else.
So head on down and check that out. If you need more information, we'll have a link to the event page on our social media.
G'day, I'm Kim.
And I'm Daniel.
We're Black Mountain.
And you're listening to Canberra Metalheads.
Right on. Thanks, boys.
Bam!